Hey everybody, this is Chris Center 5 Outdoors. I want to do a little walkthrough of my 2021 Hobie PA14 with the Torqeedo 1103 motor on the back of it. Alright, so using a one objective mount going to the Torqeedo mount and then to the 1103. So for the steering, what I did, Innovative Sportsman actually makes this accessory kit. It comes with the pegs, the tubing, and the Spectra cabling. So what I did, I actually drilled a hole on both sides, or basically two holes on this side of the kayak, two holes on that side. In the back, I was a little concerned about water getting inside the hole after drilling this hole, because it's a small hole, but nonetheless. So basically what I did, I flared the ends, put a little marine goop on the inside, and just pushed it down and made sure that it was as sealed as possible. This cable, you want to run perfectly parallel all the way up to the foot pegs the best you can. On the front, I had to drill another hole underneath this cleat is where I chose. Kind of see it right there. I did it on both sides. So I did the exact same thing. I flared it, put a little bit of marine goop, and that's it. Foot pegs, steering runs nice and smooth, no binding at all. With the foot pegs, I wanted to run it as close to the hole as possible. I didn't want to run it on top like some people do with the H-rail system. I wanted it as tight and forward as possible, give me as much room in the cockpit that I possibly can get. So I used some L brackets, one here, one in the back right here. So I actually opened up as much as I possibly could to give that the support. And there's no flex in it at all. You can kind of see just the other way. It's as far forward as it's going to go. But I still have all my adjustability in the peg itself, so I have nothing to really worry about there. The one thing I did have to do on the peg, you can kind of see right there where my finger is, I had to use a Dremel and kind of cut a notch in it. So on the bottom of this, there's a little slot that runs like, the full length of it. And when I first put them on there, it would hit. But now, after doing that, there's no binding at all, no touching. I had to do it on both sides. Real small mod you have to do to make it work. But anyways, so that's the steering setup I have. Let's see, for deploying the motor in and out of the water. A lot of people do this differently. A lot of people run it, right here next to the seat to the Yak Attack stealth pulley, and then that's it. My thing is I didn't want to have anything running inside the hull at all. I was afraid he's gonna get caught up or catch something, whatever. So what I did, came out here and put some gear track right here on the edge of the hull with one of the Yak Attack eyelids. So it keeps this rope out of the way of the live well, out of the way of my crate. I'm not gonna get caught on anything. So it runs parallel outside. I actually did it outside the hull versus inside. So it runs all the way up here. Goes to one of the stealth pulleys, and basically comes back around and comes through this cleat to a Hobie like Outback handle that's usually on the front and the back of the kayak to pick it up. So what I do with this, I usually have some paracord that sticks out and makes a loop. I cut that paracord off, drilled a hole halfway, and then I drilled a hole just going through the center of it. Then just fed the rope through it and tied a knot. So ideally when you pull it, gets the motor up and out of the water, so I didn't go all the way. Kind of drill on a trailer that's sitting on a jack stand. But once you get there, you want to use your motor, deploy it. So with this, I was kind of concerned about this, this string material kind of sagging down and getting in the water and the muck and lily pads or whatever I'm fishing with. So I was a little worried about that. And I still got a little bit of adjustments to do, but with this setup, first I had the handle kind of out here, but then this would happen. The handle would also be swinging back and forth, getting caught up in between, and I was worried about it binding on something. So I took the handle and put it as close to the cleat as I could, and just made this rope not really tight, but just where it's kind of holding itself up on top of the hull a little bit. Tie a knot, and the handle will always stay there. It's not going to bind anything, get caught on anything. It's gonna stay right up here against this cleat. So far, it's been working pretty well for me. We'll see how it works in the future going forwards. But so for the reverse lockout, still got to work some more on this, but this is what I did temporary just to kind of get it going. I tied it to this little eyelid right here. It's part of the hull on the PA14s. So I just have to reach down and pull it. And it hits that reverse lockout, keeps that motor from coming out of the water when you put it in reverse. And it works. Probably have to do some more mods to try to make it look a little bit cleaner than just having a cable coming through here. I'm not really a huge fan of that, but anyway, so for the controller, the Yak Attack controller mount, it's actually pretty much designed for the Torqeedo. I just went with that. Thought about putting it here on the seat, so it's like, you know, right here. It's not kind of sticking off of the side, but this works great. I haven't had any issues yet. So the cabling will set through here. It'll come up through my box. My battery's gonna stay inside my crate. Building system great. And then of course the power to the actual motor will go in there as well with the battery. So that's kind of my setup for this Torqeedo on the back of my Hobie PA14. I got all this stuff at Delaware Powder Sports. They're a great group of guys. Brian, Chuck, any of them. They've helped me out quite a bit with this stuff, so I definitely highly recommend them. Tax-free, and they also ship. So if you guys are interested, either reach out to us or hit them up, and look forward to seeing everybody on the water. All right, tight lines, everyone.